Hey there, friends. We're going to talk about Song 7, Dear Hedda, the song that I created for my niece. And the reason we're going to go through this again is for the same reason we've done for the rest of the songs, and that is file management, file consolidation, getting it ready for mix. But more importantly, as you may remember and you'll hear shortly, this song in particular was created by virtual instruments almost exclusively. The bass, the synths, the pads, almost everything, even the drums, were all created by virtual instruments or VCV rack, usually in conjunction with each other. So they were all MIDI based. They all needed to be printed because they were just MIDI information going through virtual instruments, virtual plugins. So to get them ready and to make sure that they were super clean and that the levels were good, because that's the other thing you have to consider when you're getting your tracks ready for mix, especially when you're sending them off. Levels. What I would suggest is the same thing that Bob Olson has taught me over the last 22 of my 32 years in the music business working with him. Keep your levels about -6 dB down from 0. So -6 dB. Now, you may have heard this number before. Why this number? Well, because plugins, some of them are based on analog hardware, and they add gain, they add saturation, they can also add level to your tracks. So when you start stacking things, especially if you're boosting EQ, you're automatically adding some level. When you start putting 4 or 5 of them, you're going over 0. So to make sure that they're clean and they're easy for the mix engineer to deal with, keep it at -6 on average. Even lower, it's not going to hurt it. We're in the age of 24-bit and 32-bit technology. There's tons of headroom, but keep them around -6. Some people say, oh, well, as long as you're under 0. Okay, sure, but you're not leaving a lot of room for the mix engineer then. -6, same thing for your masters. If you're mixing yourself, leave some room because mastering, leveling, it adds gain. There's clip gain, there's saturation, there's maximizing, there's limiting. They all add gain. And yes, an experienced mix and mastering engineer will know to temper that. But if you don't give them any room to work with, you're making their job much harder. And your tracks will just sound better. They'll be cleaner when you present them to them. They pull up faders at 0, and you're not like diming everything. They're still going to have to pull them down at -6. They're probably going to have to pull the faders down to like -12 so that they don't overload their master channel. But you're not clipping the individual channels. So for Dear Hedda, I printed the virtual instruments, all of them, made sure the levels were looking really good. Nothing was diming. I wasn't hearing any distortion. Made sure everything was -6. And then I cleaned up the vocal, did some Dynassist and prime vocal from Sonable on the vocal, made that sit really nice so there's tons of room for the mix engineer on the vocal. Got rid of the room sound, so that's super clean. That'll be really helpful. You'd be surprised taking out the room from whatever room you're singing in, how much easier it is to mix that vocal. Did all those things, printed the virtual instruments, got the vocal tidy, and then consolidated all the files, made sure the levels looked good, made sure it all sounded the same to me once I printed those files and nothing was a few samples off either way or what have you. Now we're ready to go. What you're about to hear is that session now, all cleaned up, all ready to go, all consolidated, gain set where it should be. And I know we're going to get something good out of this. You're going to hear exactly what I'm hearing because, again, I'm recording it back into Pro Tools We're hearing the same thing. There's no camera mic or whatever. Let's give it a listen.
Wake up, little darling, don't you worry. Everything will be alright today. Don't speed into tomorrow in your hurry. It matters even less than yesterday. Things may not work out the way you wanted. It doesn't mean the path you're on is wrong. Trust into the seeds that you have planted. You will end up right where you belong. There are many things in life to scare you. There are many more to make you brave. Something tells me you'll be fine, I dare you. And fight for what is right along the way. Daddy's had a share of bumps and bruises, mostly self-inflicted, yes I know. It matters little how much someone loses as getting off the mat for one more go. As long as you are honest in your dealings and tell the truth as much as fate will lend, then my darling, you will have no ceiling. Though sometimes you may have to bend. Time may come when you won't see me round here, but I'll be with you each step just the same. Close your eyes and I'll whisper in your ear, if ever that you need me in your day. Now I think it's best you're on your way.
All right, friends, that was Dear Hedda. So that's song 7 down. Now, song 8, you know, is a live guitar vocal of Ice Skates. I've already put that link up at my SoundCloud. However, I am going to send that to Greg Griffiths as well to let him give it a shot. I don't know, maybe he'll add something to it. Maybe he'll make the guitar vocal mix sound better than what I did. I'm sure he can do that, but maybe he'll bring something else to it because he's brilliant. So that will still go to him, but that has not changed. Nothing has changed since you heard it last at that mix and master that I did at my SoundCloud link and during that last video. So that would take us to song 9, which is Let the Right One In. But that one I'm still working on. So next we will go to song 10, which Henry Kaiser added some more guitar wizardry and craziness to, and I want you to hear that. And again, I cleaned it up and got it ready. So that'll be the next thing you hear in the next video. And then hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be going back to song 9, Let the Right One In. I sent it off to Espen and Freddie in Norway from the Black Country, from our band we have together, and they're going to add their little magic to it. They're both brilliant, so hopefully they can get to that pretty soon, and then I'll play that for you, and we'll get that ready for mix. But I also have 2 surprises coming for you after we're done with all this. So hang in there. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.